This isn't merely a car, it's a multi-million-dollar gamble, a rolling paradox that didn't just save a fledgling television show, but fundamentally reshaped the trajectory of an entire industry and nearly bankrupted its visionary creator. It was conceived, designed, and constructed in a frantic sprint of less than 30 days, for a cost that, when adjusted for inflation, would equal over $150,000 in today's currency. Every single dollar, every hour of labor, every audacious design choice was a calculated risk. What if I told you that the most famous, most outlandish TV car of the 1960s was born from a $200 sketch, a legally dubious acquisition of a genuine coffin, and an engine so powerful, so untamed, it was barely controllable on a Hollywood soundstage? This is the definitive story of how a machine, purpose-built for a family of fictional monsters, transcended its role to become an enduring legend and the impossible, high-stakes decisions that forged its very existence. The Munster Koach is far more than a mere pop culture icon. It stands as a critical case study in the high-stakes, often chaotic world of Hollywood vehicle fabrication and brand engineering. In the nascent days of 1964, Universal Studios faced a formidable challenge. Their ambitious new sitcom, The Munsters, demanded a vehicle as utterly unique and unforgettable as its titular monstrous family. This wasn't a request for a simple prop. The car had to be a character in its own right, a believable, organic extension of their Gothic yet suburban world. The pivotal decision to commission a completely custom build, rather than merely modifying an existing production car, ignited a chain reaction of creative pressures, engineering dilemmas, and significant financial outlays. This intricate web of decisions would either spectacularly define the show's aesthetic and secure its place in television history, or condemn it to an ignominious failure. This deep dive isn't just about a cool car. It's an analytical exploration of how extreme constraints, brilliant, often unconventional engineering, and sheer, unadulterated audacity converge to create an asset that has not only outlived its own television series, but has continued to generate immense revenue and cultural capital for over half a century. We will trace the precise mechanisms through which risk, incentive, unintended consequences, and long-term impact played out in the creation and legacy of this automotive masterpiece. The initial brief from Universal Studios was, by all accounts, a production designer's nightmare. They demanded a car that simultaneously evoked the menacing elegance of a hearse, the raw power of a hot rod, and the utilitarian capacity of a family station wagon. Crucially, it had to be fully drivable, safe for its cast members, including the towering Fred Gwynne as Herman Munster, and, perhaps most challenging, constructed within the notoriously tight budgetary confines of 1960s television production. The immense task fell squarely upon the shoulders of George Barris, already a living legend, the self-proclaimed king of the customizers, whose reputation was built on delivering the impossible. Yet Barris, with his shrewd business acumen, understood the value of delegation and specialized talent. For a mere $200, a sum that underscores the nascent, undervalued state of concept design at the time, he outsourced the initial conceptualization to a young, visionary designer named Tom Daniel. Daniel's sketch was nothing short of radical, a supercharged, impossibly low-slung beast that defied conventional automotive logic. Barris immediately recognized the profound visual potential, but also the stark reality. The studio's budget simply could not accommodate a full, functionally accurate custom engine build that matched Daniel's initial vision. This marked the first critical strategic decision, a pivotal moment of compromise, to prioritize and preserve the radical aesthetic, even if it meant a significant functional concession on the powertrain. This choice, driven by both artistic vision and financial necessity, would define the Koach's enduring appeal and its unique place in automotive history. With Daniel's audacious design in hand, Barris's elite team, spearheaded by master fabricators Dick Dean and Tex Smith, faced an almost insurmountable deadline: just 21 days to transform a two-dimensional sketch into a fully functional, screen-ready vehicle. The core of the Koach's construction is a profound testament to their unparalleled resourcefulness and ingenuity. They didn't merely build a car. They performed automotive surgery, meticulously fusing three distinct Ford Model T bodies. One provided the front cowl and initial passenger compartment, another contributed to the elongated middle section, and the third was ingeniously adapted to form the distinctive hearse-like rear. This audacious Frankenstein approach was a monumental gamble. The structural integrity of such a composite body was inherently unproven, and the sheer, unprecedented length, an astonishing 18 feet, imposed immense, unforeseen stress on the chassis. To counteract this, the frame itself had to be entirely hand-fabricated from heavy-gauge steel, a painstaking process designed to prevent the vehicle from buckling or twisting under its own considerable weight and the dynamic forces of filming. The 133-inch wheelbase, custom-built from the ground up, was a marvel of bespoke engineering, incorporating a dropped axle and split-radius rods at the front, paired with Model A springs and Traction Master stabilizers at the rear to manage the vehicle's unique dimensions and handling characteristics. Furthermore, the 500 hours dedicated to the ornate, rolled steel scrollwork weren't merely an aesthetic flourish. They represented a calculated risk, a significant allocation of the project's already strained budget into visual detail. Barris and his team were betting, correctly, that the coach's unparalleled on-screen presence and Gothic grandeur would resonate more deeply with audiences than any underlying engineering purity, thereby justifying the substantial investment in its unique visual identity. This intense, compressed build schedule, coupled with the bespoke nature of its construction, pushed the boundaries of custom car fabrication, setting a new, albeit extreme, benchmark for Hollywood vehicle design. It is within the engine bay of the Munster Koach that the true genius of Barris's economic storytelling and theatrical deception truly unfolds. The power plant itself was a formidable choice. A 289 cubic inch Ford V8, the very same high-performance motor that propelled the legendary AC Cobra. This engine, bored and stroked and fitted with John's high-dome pistons, was a serious piece of performance hardware, capable of delivering the raw power Herman Munster's character demanded. However, the coach's most iconic visual feature, the 10 gleaming, chrome-plated velocity stacks jutting defiantly from the hood, represented a masterclass in visual engineering over functional necessity. Barris understood that a fully functional 10-carburetor setup was not only functionally impractical for a television car, but also nearly impossible to reliably tune and maintain for a demanding filming schedule, where the car needed to start on cue every time. The solution was elegant in its simplicity and brilliant in its execution. He commissioned a custom Mickey Thompson Ram Air manifold, but only the central carburetor was actually plumbed and functional. The other 9 were meticulously crafted dummies, added purely for their awe-inspiring visual impact. This decision delivered the million-dollar look of a top-fuel dragster on a television budget, while ensuring the car remained a reliable, turnkey asset for the production crew. This strategic choice, prioritizing visual fantasy over engineering purism, became a defining characteristic of Hollywood's greatest custom cars, a testament to the art of creating believable fiction on wheels. The Munster Koach was not just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon. Its on-screen debut triggered an immediate and overwhelming public response. It became so popular that it transcended its role as a mere prop, evolving into an essential, non-human cast member that drove merchandise sales, public appearances, and the show's overall brand identity. This unprecedented success, however, created a significant and unforeseen problem for George Barris and his company, Barris Kustoms. He had only built one. The insatiable demand for a second car for promotional tours, car shows, and parades was immense. This pressure led to the creation of an authorized replica, a car that, while nearly identical, lacked the unique provenance of the original. But the problem didn't stop there. The Koach's fame spawned a cottage industry of unauthorized, often poorly constructed copies, a development that threatened to dilute the very brand Barris had so carefully and expensively built. This forced Barris into a new, unfamiliar role, not just a builder, but a brand manager, fiercely protective of his creation's intellectual property in an era where such concepts were still nascent. The original Koach, eventually auctioned by Barris in 1982, has since become a priceless artifact, a cornerstone of the Volo Auto Museum in Illinois, its value appreciating exponentially over the decades. Its economic impact extends far beyond the initial $18,000 investment. It catalyzed a multi-million-dollar industry of model kits, die-cast toys, and high-end replica builds, an economic ripple effect that continues to this day. The strategic decision to build one radical, unforgettable car rather than several cheaper, less impressive ones, inadvertently created a scarcity and mystique that has paid dividends for decades. It was a powerful, real-world demonstration that a television prop, if executed with sufficient vision and audacity, could become a standalone, revenue-generating franchise. A lesson that would profoundly influence the way Hollywood approached vehicle design and merchandising for generations to come. The legacy of the Munster Koach is not confined to the television screen or the museum floor. It is a living, breathing part of automotive culture. Its influence can be seen in the countless custom car builders who were inspired by its audacious design, in the enduring popularity of the AMT model kit, a kit that has been continuously re-released since the 1960s, introducing new generations to the Koach's unique aesthetic. Tom Daniel, the original designer, became a household name in the model kit world, his distinctive style shaping the imaginations of countless young enthusiasts. The Koach's design language, a blend of Gothic horror and hot rod aggression, permeated popular culture, influencing everything from theme park attractions to comic books. It proved that a vehicle could be more than transportation. It could be a character, a symbol, and a powerful marketing tool. This long-term impact on market perception and competitive positioning within the custom car industry was profound. Barris Kustoms, already a leader, solidified its position as the go-to shop for iconic Hollywood vehicles, setting a precedent for future projects like the Batmobile. The Koach's success demonstrated a clear economic model: invest heavily in a unique, visually striking vehicle, and the returns in merchandising, licensing, and enduring cultural relevance would far outweigh the initial expenditure. This was a direct challenge to the more conservative, cost-cutting approaches often favored by studios, proving that sometimes the most expensive prop could be the most profitable asset. Let's delve deeper into the forensic details that elevate the Munster Koach from a mere prop to a meticulously engineered piece of art. The 133-inch hand-built frame wasn't just long, it was a complex lattice designed to distribute the weight of 3 Model T bodies and a heavy V8 engine. The brass radiator, a period-correct touch, was custom fabricated, not off the shelf, reflecting Barris's commitment to authenticity within the fantastical. The gas lantern headlights, while appearing antique, were fully functional, integrated into a modern electrical system capable of powering not just the lights, but also the optional interior amenities, like a Munsters stereo tape recorder. The interior, often overlooked, was a masterclass in Gothic opulence: hand-stitched red velvet, diamond-tufted, evoking a coffin's lining, complemented by ermine fur rugs and antique French telephones. These weren't just set dressings, they were integral to the Koach's character, enhancing the immersive experience for both actors and the audience. The choice of 11-inch Firestone pie crust slicks on Astromag wheels, painted blood red on the spokes, was a deliberate nod to the drag racing culture of the 1960s, grounding the fantastical vehicle in a contemporary automotive reality. Even the steering mechanism, a direct vertical steering column with an Anson metal-flaked wheel, was chosen for its dramatic visual appeal and its connection to the hot rod aesthetic, despite potentially challenging ergonomics for Fred Gwynne, who famously had to sit on the floor to drive it. Every single component, from the skull radiator cap, a later addition, not present in the original series run, to the custom exhaust pipes designed to resemble organ pipes, was a deliberate decision that contributed to the Koach's cohesive, unforgettable identity. This level of detail, often invisible to the casual viewer, speaks volumes about the dedication and craftsmanship that went into its creation, and why it continues to captivate automotive historians and enthusiasts alike. The Munster Koach stands as an enduring monument to creative problem-solving, a testament to the power of audacious vision, and a fascinating study in the economics of Hollywood production. It teaches us that sometimes the most audacious risks, the most clever deceptions, and the most meticulous craftsmanship converge to forge the most enduring legends. But the Koach, as iconic as it is, was not the only custom creation to emerge from the Barris custom shop for the Munsters. Its equally famous and arguably even more outrageous stablemate was Grandpa's Dragula, a dragster literally built from a real coffin. The story of how George Barris and his team legally acquired that coffin, navigating California state laws requiring a death certificate, is an even more insane tale of Hollywood ingenuity and sheer determination. to uncover that incredible narrative. Click the video on screen now, and we want to hear from you. What specific detail of the Munster Koach, after this deep dive, impresses you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're fascinated by the untold stories behind iconic machines and the cultural impact they leave, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more forensic analyses and cinematic explorations of automotive history. Don't miss out on our next deep dive.